Hello, this is Elaine with Elaine's Creations, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this Shadowbox card with the Snow Wonder stamp set. So when you open it up, it becomes a box. So this fun card opens up and then it's like a box with scenery inside. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with these kinds of boxes. So here's the Snow Wonder stamp set. Has this fun snowman and pine trees and a wreath and snowflakes. And it has dies that cut out the snowman and these labels, and then it has dies that emboss as well. I'll grab the dies here in a minute. So to start off, I am going to grab my template. I always create a template and I write down everything so that I can create the card later on. So you're going to start off with two 5.5 by 8.5 sheets of cardstock. And the first piece of cardstock you are going to score at 4.25 like normal. And then you're going to trim it down to 8 inches and you're going to put it aside. So that piece I have, so let me take all these other little pieces out right here. So this is 8 inches long and it's scored at 4.25. Okay. So let's put this up in the corner, and then this is 8 inches long, scored at 4.25. Okay. So now the next piece I have is the 5.5 by 8.5, and I have scored it at 1/2, 1/2, and then I've scored it at 4.25, and then 4 3/4. So 1/2, 4.25, 4 3/4. Okay. And then I trimmed off just a little tiny sliver of this 1/2 inch tab right here, just the tiniest sliver. And you'll see why that helps in a little bit. And then as you can see, I went ahead and cut an oval, and you can cut any size circle, oval, stitch nested die, label that you want in this panel right here. Not this panel right here between the two score lines. It has to be this panel right here. So you want to go ahead and do that. Okay, and if you want to, you can create a double Shadowbox card by creating another layer that would go inside here, and you would create a smaller oval inside. That would be pretty cool. And so you would create a smaller oval, and you would do a smaller piece of cardstock. You would do a 5.5 by 4.25 piece of cardstock. I'm sorry, it would be the same size, but then you would score 1/4 inch from both sides. And so instead of being a 1/2 inch wide, it would be a 1/4 inch wide. So it would only have a rise of a 1/4 inch, so that it would be half of the rise of this one, so that it would be half. Okay, so now we're going to do some stamping, and then we will put the card together. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to stamp this background here, right here. So I have a piece of Whisper White, and it's going to be going behind here. And so it's actually going to go on this piece right here. So it's going to go on this piece of cardstock right here. And so it's a little bit wide. So this piece needs to be trimmed down. And so it needs to be about 3.5 by 5.25 would be a good size. So I'm gonna use my mini trimmer, and I'm gonna trim this down. So 3.5. And I'm just going to use this circle as a guide, but I'm going to set this all up so I can see exactly where this is going to be. So this is going to be placed about right here. And then this is going to be placed here. And so this is going to be tucked up here. So this is kind of where you're going to see the trees. And then this piece is going to be up here. And so I want my trees to be stamped right here. So I'm just going to put my finger there. I'm going to move this, and I'm going to get my trees. And I'm going to point my chalk marker there while I open my garden green. And I'm going to stamp my trees in garden green. So let's do some trees here. And I'm going to move this off because I'm going to end up, oh no, smearing my trees. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to stamp the trees again. And I'm going to stamp them on some scratch piece of paper. So I'm going to grab a scratch piece of paper over here. And I'll stamp the trees like that. And that'll be better. And I'm going to use the green again on the front of the card. So I'm going to just set that aside. And I'm going to bring in my piece for the front of the card. Okay, so now I have the crumb cake piece that I'm going to use on the front. So let me grab this piece right here, and I'm going to use the same garden green, and I'm going to stamp it across the back here. And I'm going to use the white chalk marker. It's really cool on the crumb cake to color in all the snow on the trees. And it really shows up on the crumb cake. And it looks really cool. It really looks like snow. And I've already stamped and colored and cut out my snowman. I've colored him with the chalk marker as well. And then I colored his nose with the pumpkin pie. And I colored his hat with crumb cake. And his leaves with old olive. Or was it shaded spruce? I can't remember. And then we're going to do a little bit of embossing. We're going to emboss the sentiment and some snowflakes. I love embossing on crumb cake. It looks so nice. So I'm just going to kind of use some powder to kind of just wipe down anything on here. And then I've got some old olive. So just kind of wipe down anything on here. Just just move this aside. Actually, I'll keep this. I've got some Versamark, and we'll do our sentiment first. And make sure I've got that right side up. I guess it doesn't really matter, but we'll stamp that, and then we'll get it some powder on it. And then I've got some tweezers. And then we'll heat this up. Alright, now we'll do some of the snowflakes up here. They look really cool when they're embossed. So we'll start over here, some snowflakes. Perfect. We'll heat this up too. All right, so now we can put the front of the card together. So I've got some Misty Moonlight here, some DSP from Trimming the Town. I just really love this DSP. It's my favorite one out of this DSP. So we'll just put this right on the front here, and then we'll put this on dimensionals. And the snowman on dimensionals. And the sentiment on dimensionals. Okay. Put this up here. That looks nice on its own, but it looks really nice when you add the snowman. There we go. All right, so now we can do the inside of the card. So now we can add this piece right here. It's gonna go inside, so we'll see inside of it. So I can hide my smeared tree. put that inside. And then now I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to place this right in the corner here. And this is why I trimmed off a little piece, is so that this is going to fit really nicely in here. And you can use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal Plus or some other really strong adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and use tear and tape. It's just pretty easy to use. So you're just going to make sure that you're getting this right on the edge right here, getting everything all lined up. And once you get it lined up, you're just going to close this down. That's it. And that is what is going to pull this card up. And then you're going to close it flat and fold it over flat, and you're going to put some tear and tape over here on this side, or your other strong adhesive, whatever you're using, your Stampin' Seal Plus. And you're going to lay this flat, and you're going to go ahead and fold it at the first score line flat. Flat, flat, flat. Even if you're off. I'm off here on my scoring and cutting, but that's okay. We can fix that. You can trim. I'm going to trim this piece right here. I have my large scissors, so I can do some trimming. But you want it to be flat. That's really important. Otherwise you can't mail it. So you can just do some trimming very carefully, because you don't want to trim the fold of your card. That would not be good. But you can just trim away the excess and everything will be fine. Okay, so the last couple decorations that you want to do inside, because you want to decorate your inside. Okay, see, it pops up like that. So you want to add a little bit, add a little sentiment right there and pop that up. And I also added a wreath on the top. And if you wanted to, you could even do another snowman and add another snowman in the middle or on the side or something like that. That would be cute. So, I just happen to have an excess snowman, so just check it out. That would be cute, wouldn't it? Or you could add him like this, popping out like that. Ta-da! And then you could have this, this going like this. Something like that. Or you could just pop him up, on dimensionals, like he's there in the scene. I think that would be nice. Two snowmen. Should I go ahead and do that? I think I should, because he looks kind of lonely, the scene without a snowman. It just looks lonely. I'm doing it. We're doing it. We're just adding snowman to the scene. There we go. And then we can add our other sentiment, the inside of the card sentiment that we have in Misty Moonlight here. Sending you blessings, peace, and magic for this Christmas season. So we're only going to put dimensionals like in the bottom corners. And then I already colored most of the wreath with Old Olive or Garden Green, Old Olive, Garden Green, can't remember. But I'm gonna color the bow with Misty Moonlight. So there's our Misty Moonlight bow, and I'm just gonna add that to the top there. So I think I'm gonna use a mini dimensional for that, because I'm just gonna do that at the very top. So we'll just add a wreath over his head. So there's 2 snowmen. And there we go. So ta-da, there's the inside. So we got a snowman out here. We got a snowman in there. I like it. I think I'm gonna add another snowman to this one. This one looks kind of sad and lonely. So we'll add another snowman to this one. Yeah. Yay! So that's how you make a shadow box card. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you've had fun learning how to make this fun shadow box card. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.